Admit Lance. Here we go, Lance.
Okay, Paul, good morning.
How are you doing?
I am doing awesome. One more giddy up.
One more day after today?
Yep.
Boy, you
Kind of
know,
great.
the clock seems to slow down towards you get to the end, right?
I know. And we've done something a little different. It seems like almost about every 3 or 4 years at the end of the year, the principal changes it up. And like I said, last year it was you went to your first period and you stayed there all day, the last day of school.
Good morning, Brenda.
And they changed it up this year and they said, no, we're going to go to 1, 2, and 3. It's like, dang, I would have not had any kids. But I'll have second and third period. Morning, Brenda. Morning, Ed. Morning, whoever else is in the chat.
Got Jonathan's in the chat. Giggles is in the chat.
Morning, guys. You out and fly yet, Paul?
No, there's nothing to fly. It is stark out there. I got 7 yesterday, but stark today.
Yeah. All your batteries charged and ready to go in case?
Oh, yeah. I do that automatically as soon as I come back home.
How many batteries do you have?
6. Actually, I have 8, but I only carry 6.
Yeah. And when are you getting the Mavic 4?
Not gonna. And here comes our friend Joe. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning. Why would you have 6 batteries with you when you go fly for 2 minutes?
Well, I got a hard case and all the batteries sitting in there like that. And when I take it out of there, then I pull the battery, put it in backwards so that I know that that one needs to be charged.
So today's
Morning, Lance.
graduation. Good morning, Joe. Today's graduation and it's raining. It's the only day of the week is supposed to rain.
Giggles has to work one more day and then he's got 2 days off.
Gick was always on. Well,
My teaching
from work.
partner, across the hall, she has a student she has a son graduating this year. So she's kind of bummed that it's raining because they're having their graduation party right after graduation today outside. And she says there's going to be about 60 people there. I'm like, oh, bummer. She said, so we're going to have to cram them inside the garage and my house. And she says, I hope they fit.
So, Lance, my question, graduation, you got to be there, right?
Don't have to be there. I am not going.
So if you went, would you have to be in cap and gown and everything?
Yes.
Yeah. That's what they have to do here. Any teachers that go have to be in cap and gown from where they graduated from.
Yep, that's us too. I would have a red one on because it's Central. And I've gone about half the time. I go about half. Some years I go, some I don't.
Some years you go and some years you don't, okay?
Yeah, that's Paul. Some years he goes to the bathroom, okay, some years he don't.
That's right.
It's less now since he's been eating all them stuffers. Them Boston cream stuffers. Stop me ups.
We've got three teachers, or actually 2 teachers and an admin, all having kids graduate this year.
Oh, wow.
We got three of their kids.
Speaking of kids, how's your daughter doing?
She's doing well. She's eating pretty much everything now.
Is
did kinda have-
she going to get married to the boyfriend this year?
Oh, hell no. No.
No.
Huh?
Boyfriend's mom is kind of odd, so she doesn't see a future in this guy. I don't think.
Well, that's when they surprise you.
Yeah.
All right, Josh, thanks for that. New Orleans is investigating a shooting in New Orleans East at the intersection of Pines Boulevard and Downland Road. He says the call for them.
Like how they say just now, New Orleans police are investigating a shooting in New Orleans East. Like that's not every day.
Did they catch those 2 dudes yet?
Which 2 dudes?
Well, when the handful escaped, two were left.
Oh no. Still got 2 on the loose.
Wow. And the one guy's gonna be easy to spot.
Look, Paul, I'm gonna show you backwards. It says Lily,
Lily, yeah.
and once it's all glued together and I put the lights in and the string, it's got a little white insert that sits in it. And I think I'm gonna put the one that's LEDs that you could plug into the wall. And that'll be her name, Lily. I found that last night. It took an hour. It took 2 hours to print all the letters and 30 minutes to print the insert. I wish I could find letters like that for everything. Hardest part is getting them to glue together. Because you got little access points that aren't that big.
Oh, so they didn't come printed like that. You had to glue them together.
Yeah, you got to print them individually and then put them together.
Okay.
So my finger got stuck to the back here, so she's gonna have a little bit of my DNA. But there's the insert right here. It's just a little white thin insert that slides in and snaps in. I need to find out how to do this to make that so that I can make my own letters.
Brenda says hi to Captain Joe.
Hey, everybody. Jonathan, TJ should be on. He don't work till tonight. He could go on. Brenda.
He's
Who else is
probably
it?
up to his chin in Cheerios.
No, he's
And
probably-
trying to fix his TV.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He's either fixing the TV or trying to. What he's doing, he's trying to start the old one, not realizing it's the old one. He's using the old remote on the new one.
See, TJ, this would be a good time because they probably gave you an HDMI cable with the new TV. Plug in the new HDMI cable to your old TV, see if it works. If it does, you can set that puppy up in your garage, have a man cave out there.
He did. He got the one from upstairs. You remember? I still think that he's got the input press wrong, and that if he finds how to get the right input on, I think he needs to try to turn it on without anything, see if it comes on. Take all the cables off of it, have it completely undone, just plug it in and turn it on and see if you could hear anything kicking on.
Yeah.
That guarantee, I bet you, it's possible it went out, but I bet you he could have hit the wrong thing.
Good morning, Frank.
Jody's here. Oh,
Yeah,
Frank.
Jody's in the.
Oh, it's
well,
Frank. It's not Jody.
It's Jody, Frank, Jody. One or the other.
That's 2 different people. He's just telling you this. The other day
Morning,
they were
Jody.
both in the chat together, so don't tell me that. They were both back to back, Frank and Jody.
Frank and Lola.
2 computers.
Okay, where am I gonna fly this morning, Paul?
In the
I don't
Pacific
know, where are
Northwest.
you gonna fly?
Okay, I've got urban, I've got water, or I've got parking garage.
Well, that's kind of up to you. You've done a lot of water. You did the urban yesterday.
Yep. Or I could do the museum, but that's
Why
kind of boring.
don't you fly your school?
I could do that, yeah. Fly my school.
So you could always remember, you know?
I don't think he'll ever forget that. Some things you can't forget.
I wonder if I could be sick every day next year. And just take my 180 sick days.
What you do is you go 4 days and then come back, and 4 days and come back.
Yep.
Or alternate it. Do 3 1 week, 4 the next week. Then you do 4 and then 3. Just alternate them.
That's what my buddy did when he retired in 2000. He might have retired in 1999, I forget. But he would take every Friday. No, he would take Friday and then the following Monday off, and then he wouldn't take off that next Friday, but he would take the Monday, Tuesday. He did it where he always had 4 days off. I forget exactly how he set it up, but it was like alternating Fridays and Mondays.
And they didn't ever fit.
Nope, they wanted him to retire at that point. Okay, now it's raining. I don't think I'm gonna fly on the way in. Might have to be during first period or something. We'll see.
Well,
Coming down pretty good.
about I'm watching the weather. About noon today, we got rain for like 6 or 8 hours. Because right now it's not too bad. It's not bright and sunny, but
Per se, especially in our population, where we have so many elderly people, and so many.
So the main thing, you kind of have to treat that.
Well, let's get in it.
Before you can address it, you know, fix on the issues, whether it's a belong village and also delivery. You're not gonna do it. So we do a full assessment.
I'll tell you what, Boone has got me figured out.
Ground work.
He's laying on the back porch with the door cracked open. And I turned around and looked at him, and he turned around and looked at me.
That's because he can hear you.
I think he knows. My little Boone boy.
So is he outside looking in?
Yes. In other words, the door is cracked open about 6 or 8 inches so he can come and go.
Yeah.
And he's, well, now he just came back in. And he was laying out there on the porch. And he looked over his shoulder. When I turned around and he looked over his shoulder back at me. Now he came in to check everything out.
And then we have devices that we can put on the wings, kind of like skin graft type things.
How does someone know, and most of the times people, when you're dealing with wounds, when you have a caregiver, hopefully is on between.
And he knows you eat all day, so he's coming to get some treats.
You think so?
I guarantee you. You were feeding him peanut butter jelly yesterday. He thinks anytime
No
he got something, I'm
jelly,
gonna get
just
it.
peanut butter.
Well, you fed him peanut butter, yes, that's all
Peanut
that.
butter on toast.
To bring them set.
Okay, I'm hoping the Lady Washington is there this morning, Paul.
Well, you've been looking for that for quite a while.
I know. It's usually here. It's been here every year.
Probably
Right around
busy
the end of the
going
school
somewhere
year.
else.
Yeah.
in general, it's a blood flow issue, so the more administrators give them.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, let's get-
Chambers Bay. I might fly Chambers Bay my last day of school.
Yeah, it's put together except for the thing. I'm letting it glue good. I'm not gonna try to fool with it till it's glued. Because I've got to drill a hole a little bit bigger on this side. If I use that, and then I've got to take the 5 foot, unwind it. I gotta take the 5 foot and unwind it and feed it through. I'm gonna have to make the hole bigger. I have a choice.
Game today starts at 1, so it'll be interesting to see if they can push back any or if they play it and all the rain starts in. But this will be out of your those second half of the year. Now, what you think?
That way this stuff will have a remote to it, and she could plug it in with an Apple plug. And yeah, if I got an Apple plug, one of those little white ones, little white bricks. She could plug it in, they could use that, and they could change the lighting and everything. Then I gotta feed it through everything first.
Fortunately, Aspen Town specializes in dentures implants made just for you. Used to pay. And now, $0 down plus 0 interest if paid in full in 18 months. Patients with this is one of the it's one more way.
Maybe you better do it in the back.
When I switch to T-Mobile, you'll give me an iPhone 16. I'll pay off my old phone and still get to keep it.
There's this really cool train depot I want to fly, but it's just hard to get to. There's all kinds of businesses that lead to the tracks, and you can't get onto their property.
You know, the problem with that is if you have to get on that property. If you did something where you had to go get the drone, that's where the problem is at.
Yeah.
That's like that tugboat. You know, that's what I'm saying. I'm not afraid to go through the tugboat. I'm afraid to have to go get on the tugboat. That's what Johnny did the other day. He said he was going to fly the tugboat, and he got up there and he looked at it and he said, "I'd hate to have to go out there." And he came back. So the Ayatollah said, "We will never surrender." So he's baiting Trump. That's what he's doing.
Well, according to a search I did online, Lance, the Lady Washington goes up and down the West Coast and it puts into port 40 to 50 different places.
Okay.
So it's pretty much hit or miss.
Okay. So I'm just the last 2 or 3 years, it's always been here at this time. And I'm driving by right now. I'll let you know if it's here. But it's usually here like this whole week. And today's already Wednesday. So my thought is, like you said, it's someplace else for the last week of school.
Well, it also said on there something about the 20th through the 25th. They have some kind of a festival down there.
In Tacoma?
Yeah.
It's gonna be there when you leave.
Yeah, exactly. It might come in on the 20th. It is not here. Driving by now. It's not here. I'm gonna go down to the Glass Museum and fly the Glass Museum. So it's not here. So maybe the 20th, maybe Friday.
It's gonna get there the 22nd in the afternoon and come back 2 weeks and leave 2 weeks later.
Yeah, I'll miss it completely. Hey, I don't come into Tacoma in the summertime at all. I do
So
not
you'd
head
miss it
this way.
anyway.
I would miss it anyway. To hell with it. I drive as little as possible. Okay, my secret spot number 1 I'm driving by right now, called, this is a test, guys. What's it called? The
Secret
Fish
spot number
Ped-
1, that's the area with the water.
Yep, the Fish Peddler. I'm driving by that right now. I'm not going to stop here either. I'm going to continue going.
JDS says, good morning, Lance. Take me to Hawaii with you, bro.
All right. I'm looking forward to flying the surfers. That's what I'm looking forward to. I take the most. Okay. Coming up to the Glass Museum. And I will probably fly from the road. A lot of cars here. Why are all the cars here in the morning? They're usually not here at this time of the morning. The whole side of the streets full.
You ever figure out why all the police were out there the other day, Paul?
What's
All
that?
those cars? You said but they had the police and the divers and everything out there the other day. Ever figure out why?
No, I didn't. There was no nothing on the local news.
I figured somebody might have been looking for your drone. That's what I think.
No. Because anytime I lost a drone in that river, it's been on the other side than the Canadian side. Here comes Mark.
Okay, is this parking or not? I can't tell. It doesn't say no parking.
Hello, Mark.
Hi, Paul, Joe, Lance.
But Mark,
Morning, Mark.
Hey, Lance, it's 71 degrees and gorgeous sunshine in the Irish Sea Northwest.
Nice. Very nice.
Paul, you've not pinned the link either.
Oh,
He's put the link in, but he's not pinned it.
okay, it's not pinned. I don't know. It's on the top. Looks like it's on the top.
Yeah, it was his first comment, but that's it. When it's pinned, it comes up in black and stays at the top. Well, it stays showing in the chat all the time.
No parking bus
Yeah, I see it now.
zone.
There it goes. Paul, can you not do a name search in marine traffic?
why?
Well, if you go in marine traffic and type in the name of the ship, will it not take you to where it is now?
I don't think so, but I'll try that. Marine traffic, and then there's got to be a way to search, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not. There's a couple. I got a couple things I can't get a search on. They
Mm.
don't let you.
Nope, there's no search on here.
It's something they should probably do, because if you're looking for a specific boat to know where it is,
There's parking outside. Didn't see that.
Justin.
Hey, Justin.
The got back from Aubrey's doctor's appointment.
Who had a doctor's appointment?
Aubrey did. It
Ah,
was her yearly checkup, and then she had to get 3 shots for the HPV shots or whatever girls have to get.
Justin had to go get his distemper shot.
Is what?
Distemper.
Distemper.
It's something to give a dog.
The hell's that?
The shot for a dog.
Yeah, to stop it from going daft. Distemper is a disease that the dog can get.
Well, Aubrey was freaking out. She had to get 3 of them. Doctor said you either get 3 now or you're gonna have to take 4 later. If you wait longer. So, girl, you might as well just do the 3 now, get it over with.
My SD card's full.
Aubrey, put the dogs outside, please. What's up, Brenda?
Brenda.
JDS, Mark. Oh, Mark's on the phone now. Warren, Jody, and TJ.
JDSA.
And Jonathan.
And
Yeah,
TJ.
Jonathan.
Jonathan, yeah, I'm just gonna look, see who's all in here.
Warren.
Yeah, Warren, yeah. Let's see him.
JDS.
My flaming doorbell went off at 1:30 this morning.
Really?
Well, what was it?
The sticky back double-sided tape that holds it to the door had given way and it had fell off and landed on the floor outside.
So much for sticky back.
Yeah.
Well, that shit's only gonna last so long out in the weather too. Going hot, cold, hot, cold.
I don't get that hot here.
Oh no, but it could get warm enough beaming down on your door.
Sunlight warms everything up.
Although he doesn't get so much sunlight, so yeah, he's probably right about that.
It is sunny today. It's nice. 71 degrees.
Well, it's like the double-sided 3M tape they give you for your vehicles.
Yeah.
That shit don't last here in Florida. They'll fall off your dash. Or just like the suction cups that go on the windows for the phone mounts. Dude, the sun here will beat the living hell out of one of those. I've literally seen them where they were melted you pulled it off the glass and it came off kind of like, one of those little sticky hands the kids used to play with.
Well, all our car registration plates are stuck onto cars with double-sided tape now.
They use screws in ours.
They used to, but they started doing it with a double-sided tape instead.
Well, I mean, you could design, like 3M does have some industrial adhesive tape that works really well. But
Yeah, I had the foam stuff put on it before, and I've used a double-sided gel tape now, and it's a lot better.
warm out already.
I've just got past the well, I've just reached the end of that episode now, where
Really?
where they sent the Russian mob guys to get Neely.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was really funny, that bit. Where he says, "I need an ambulance." So she called him an ambulance. They said it'll be there, paramedics will be there in 5 minutes. So she said to him, "The good news is the paramedics will be here in 5 minutes. The bad news is you'll be dead in a minute."
And she just sits there and proceeds to eat a bowl of cereal like nothing happened.
Yeah. She told him to move because you're leaning against the fridge and she can't get the milk out for the cereal.
Yeah. She's like, move out of the way. Yeah, Neely's a bad little chick, man. Yeah, you wouldn't want to run across her. I mean, I think that company she's running, I think, is like some kind of like,
It's a
you
PI
know,
company.
it is, but it's like there's a bunch of contractors working for her,
Yeah.
like real professionals. They ain't your standard PI for sure.
No.
Because she'd be calling and getting background checks for Reacher and everything else, like federal background checks and records and
Yeah.
everything else. Yeah, she got connection.
Yeah, but obviously the Russian mob have as well because they knew that they'd phoned up asking about them.
Yeah, they did warn. What was it the episode before that they had a lot of connections in the government?
Yeah.
But I don't think Neely realized that when he had her do that check. I don't think they realized it.
Yeah. I haven't seen what happens to the other warrant officer that they got the old man to knock on the door yet, but Reach has phoned up and said send 3 guys round armed. So I'll find out what happens to that, I suppose, in the next episode.
Did you see where what's his name slapped the shit out of Reacher?
I've seen where Paulie sucker punched him from behind.
Yeah.
In the kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah, I like when he keeps talking shit to Paulie.
A couple dogs in the road. Gosh, they are cute. They're little pugs. Oh, and there's a lady with a broken leg trying to corral them, but they're running down the street now. She'll
Oh,
never
they're
catch 'em.
alive. Okay.
Yeah. They're on a
For the
pretty
time being. Yeah.
pretty busy. This is kind of like a 50 mile an hour little thoroughfare that I'm on. They were right in the middle of the road. The gal's walking down there. She's got a broken leg. Good luck.
Ah.
I would stop, but they're hauling ass the other direction. She'll never catch him.
Joe Fodolio, what's up?
Hey, Joe.
Joe, what's up, Joe?
Morning, Joe. Hey, I didn't get in last night. I probably won't be in for a couple weeks into the flight simulator, but keep inviting me. I'll try to make it when I can. I'm not going to be near a computer for a while.
What is that, Uncrashed?
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all need to invite me.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Flight Simulator, like Microsoft's Flight Simulator.
No. What's it? FPV Flight Simulator.
If you go in and go multiplayer, Joe,
Yeah.
you know, and then you look for the online names, there's usually like 10 rooms. Anything that has Quad Mafia is us.
Okay.
So, you know, just join a Quad Mafia group and you'll be in with,
Is there
Joe
not a
or
lot of
Joe.
people playing that game or what?
Doesn't look like it, because anytime I go, there's less than 10, multiplayer, not a lot.
If you'd have seen the way I was flying yesterday, telling you, I was at the city park, right? And
Yeah.
when you fly around the city park, you can only do that one little square. You can't go outside. But you go out, they got that one little tunnel, like a bridge tunnel. And as soon as you get out there, you start losing your signal. I was doing that and flipping it around, bringing it back through the other side. And then when you come on the baseball diamonds, if you look to the side of the big baseball diamonds, they've got two tunnels and you got trees, right? I was coming down, I came down underneath the trees, went underneath both of the tunnels, came out. I was flying around the water out there with the bridges over the water and going right above the water under the bridges. I flew for about 25 minutes before I clipped the bridge. So for 25 minutes, I didn't hit anything. And most of the time I was underneath, flying under the trees, just gapping trees. And if it started to branch out where I couldn't gap it, I just cut off to a different area. But I was still under the trees. But like 25 minutes before I clipped something.
I am so not able to fly low very long. I'm not that coordinated yet.
I accidentally bought that game the other day by accident. Because I put it in the cart when that day I was looking for you.
Yeah.
So I could try to find you the cheapest copy of it. And I never took it out of my cart. And I went to send it Kelsey another game and I accidentally paid for that one. So I had to contact Steam and get refunded for it.
It's not bad. There's a couple of them I can't stand in there.
Yeah, there's a good mix of, there's right around 15, 20 maps. That's not too bad. Some of them are good. And then you can make your own. You can build your own if you want to, Joe.
Well, I didn't know that.
That's why I asked you the other day if you had the game, because I was going to send you that copy. I was going to have them transferred over to you, but you said you already bought it. So
yeah, I already got
it.
So Joe Fodolio, you said you were having a open house. Any luck in selling your home yet?
Here you go, Justin.
Yeah, wasn't he moving to Tennessee?
Yeah, from Texas to Tennessee. He's
That's what
going to be
I'm
a Titan. He's going to be a Titans fan and give up on Kansas City.
Yeah. How's that look, Justin?
That looks good.
Yeah, what I'm doing, I've got to print the L again because I need a bigger hole on that end. I don't know if you can see the hole. It's a little bitty hole. So I can get the LEDs in it. And then it's got white inserts like this that slide in.
Why instead of reprinting, you just don't drill it out?
That's what I was gonna say. Can't you drill it?
Yeah, I could drill it out, but I could reprint it
Yeah,
and it look better. I
You
want
know
it to
what you
look
need to
better.
do is you need to get a little tiny set of hole saw drill bits to have for shit like that. Just
Yeah.
make a nice perfect round hole right
Well,
through it.
Well,
Or Dremel.
it needs to be about 15 millimeters by 4 millimeters to have the flat thing slide in the way I need it. Because I'm gonna put the plugs on the inside. So the plugs on
Dremels
the
are
inside, just a wire coming out.
Dremels are okay, but you got to be careful with those because they're such high RPM that it will eat through the plastic really quick if you're not careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll
Yeah,
melt it.
if you do a hole saw, you can just kind of just jerk the, drill, just kind of lightly go into it.
Yeah,
And
You'll
I
have to
still
go
may
through
not
it.
even do it. I may just do the fairy lights in it.
trouble is he's not doing a round hole.
Oh no, I'm saying, but if you got a little mini bit set of those, it'd be good to have for
Mm.
doing stuff like that. Because now you're talking about reprinting it just for that hole. You might as well just drill it out.
Just the L, just one, just the L. Because it's all separate letters.
Oh, okay. So you just glued them together?
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to
Like I'm
get the
saying,
L
I
off
might
without
just
breaking
do
it?
the fairy lights. If the fairy lights fit in, I might just do that and have a battery power one for. That way they could change the battery themselves.
Sarah bought me that battery powered, I hate battery powered LEDs, but she bought the, that gaming one she saw at Walmart. It was like a little gaming controller. She thought it was cool and she bought it for me, and I took the battery casing off of it and I wired a USB-C cable into it so I could just plug it straight into wall power. It works great like that. I don't have to worry about batteries. I just resoldered a cable on there.
I got another order. Any free medium? Please order, please. Breadsticks, cheese sticks, brownies. $6.99 each. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
That stomach? Iberogast. Indigestion? Iberogast. Bloating? Iberogast. Thanks to a unique combination of herbs, Iberogast helps relieve 6 digestive symptoms to help you feel better. 6 digestive symptoms. The power of nature. Iberogast.
Skincare advice? Use all free clear detergent.
How's the vacation going, Donald?
It's free from fragrant allergens found in leading scented detergent.
You got a real good picture you took.
Donald's still on vacation.
Yeah. He did a hyperlapse and and they had a seagull photobomb him in it.
Yeah, a lot of people think it's a lot. There's a training, but there's a lot of criminal and actually learn skills needed to actually learn to deal with all that go wrong. So I always joke with people that the physical, don't get you through the first day, but get you through the next 13 days, the balance of the skills.
You gonna fly today, Joe?
I may. Suppose they have thunderstorms coming in again. It looks dreary again out there. I need to fly. If I don't fly today or tomorrow, I'm not gonna be able to fly till Sunday.
Yeah.
I got stuff Friday and Saturday.
See what's going on over in.
I haven't flown the Mavic 3 for a while. I better fly it before I leave so I know that I get connection here in Washington. So I hate to have to reconnect. And if you don't fly it for like a month, it makes you reconnect. It may be about a month since I've flown it.
Yeah, I think a regime change is going to happen in Iran now.
What they're saying,
That you know that the Iranian prince, the one that's been ousted,
yeah,
apparently they've already got him ready to go in there and take over. From the interview he did, he sounded like that's what they had. They said they already have a first 100-day plans to set up a new government.
well, the Ayatollahs already said to the United States, basically, we ain't surrender.
I ain't gonna have much of a choice here pretty soon. 'Cause they've already taken out 40% of their rocket launchers,
Did you see all the people that left?
and they just striked about 30 minutes ago. They struck a key nuclear facility.
They did hit it?
Yeah.
Oh, wrong channel. Paul mustn't be watching it either. Oh, he's sleeping.
It said Iran rejects Trump's ceasefire thing. Here, hold on. I'll show you what I'm watching. This was uploaded about 30 minutes ago.
Well, they're saying that he warns that the U.S. is impatient, his patience is wearing thin. But it didn't say they hit they said they definitely hit that main site.
We go Israeli jets
See?
streaking through the skies over Iran, hammering military targets, including missile launchers and Iranian nuclear facilities.
This as Iran continues firing missiles into central Israel and now warning if the U.S. gets involved, there'll be, quote, serious, irreparable consequences.
And Mike Tobin is live in Tel Aviv with the latest for us. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Ainsley. Now this is a nightly routine, but people here in central Israel were sent running for the bomb shelter.
But that's the thing, though, is they're talking that's where Iran's a bunch of fucking idiots. They barely even take on Israel, and they're talking about they're going to do something to the U.S. All right, whatever.
I know they hit a nuclear facility, but that one thing's in a mountain that they gotta have us.
Yeah, the bunker buster.
Yeah, I don't think they've hit that yet. I figured they'd hit it overnight, but they didn't yet, that I know of. Gotta be a freaking surgeon with this.
I told you he's calling all the shots in the background because
Well, I guarantee
Israel wanted to take out the leader, and Trump told him not to do it, and he hasn't done it yet. Seems like he's taken all his orders from Trump.
God darn it.
Yeah, Crown Prince or whatever of Iran, he was telling the people to stand up and fight the government. You catch any ships today, Paul?
What's that?
Did you catch
No,
any
there's no
ships?
ships out there.
None at all?
Zero, zip, nada.
Wow.
I got a Coast Guard boat coming down. It's out in the lake about 5 miles. Lance wants to come back in. Must be coming in from where is from his classroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
Yep.
Lance.
At the rock pile.
Flintstones, meet the Flintstones.
You see where Trump is on the screen right now? They're about to put the largest flagpole up ever on the White House grounds.
Oh, what's his name from Camping World? This whole flag pole controversy. Some of these cities were telling him he had to take his flag poles down out of his Camping World sites. Yeah, he's been paying like millions of dollars or like hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines just to spite the cities, just to keep it up.
There's a guy, I don't know what state he's in, but he was putting Trump signs up on his house all before the election. And they told him he had to take them down. And he fought them all the way to court, and court said it's just free speech, you could do it.
But well, that's one of the things you're not supposed to be able to fuck with is political signs. Like if I get caught stealing a Pelosi sign or whatever, whoever might be running of the opposite position, and I go in somebody's yard and take it, you can get in a lot of trouble for that.
Yep.
That's one thing they're pretty serious about is political signs.
All you got to do is wait for like Biden signs. They'll be in the trash later.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Around here, I didn't see a lot of those. Very few.
I was going to go
And
get
Marcus
some in New Orleans. I
Lemonis,
figured they'd have them for target practice.
this guy right here, is a legal immigrant,
Yeah.
and he's the one that owns Camping World and
Yeah.
a bunch of other businesses. Yeah, this dude is like hardcore American. Like,
Well, did you see the thing on the View yesterday with Schwarzenegger on him?
no, I saw a thumbnail from the Hodges twins were covering it, the conservative
Yeah.
twins.
Yeah, they asked
But I
him,
didn't watch it.
how does he feel about all the protests and the immigration and that? And he came out and he said, if it wouldn't be for America, I wouldn't have what I have. He went to like this. He says, if you're going to come here, you need to do it legally. And when he started saying that, they put a hand on him to kind of shut him up, you know? And he kept coming. He
Ain't
says,
the
you need to do
first
it
time of
legally, then you need to give back to the country that gave you everything.
Ain't the first time the View's
that was
done
good.
that when they brought somebody on there and thought they were going to side with them.
Oh yeah, but he showed them, and I mean, actually, the girl next to him put her hand on him when he started talking like that, and he just kind of moved, and then he got better into it.
I don't think any girl's gonna muscle Arnold.
Well, they were trying to let him know, hey, that's not what we want you to say, basically. And he just kept talking. Feel like a freaking surgeon. I have hemostats I got to go through here and pull this wire through. Feel like I'm putting stitches in. Lance still here?
Yep.
Yeah, I can't stand them women on The View.
Oh, yeah.
What are you guys doing watching The View? That's a girl show.
I only watch it when there's controversy around one of their episodes, which is damn near every episode these days.
Yeah, lately.
Honestly, I can't stand the constant race baiting on that show. They make everything about race and always trying to get people to fight over race. It's like, tired of hearing it.
I don't know that I've ever watched it.
Oh, Whoopi Goldberg's the worst.
Yeah, she's been like that ever since she gave up being a nun.
Well, the thing is like there's no real like opposite side on that show. Like they don't. It's all one-sided. Which I would rather have two opposites. That's why I like watching. I like watching Joe Rogan. I like watching some of the podcasts on YouTube because they get the opposition on their shows and have a debate and actually discuss stuff. I want to hear both sides, not just one side.
It's like the Five. They put Jessica and sometimes Ford on there that go the other way, you know. And then Jessica Gutfield just messes her up. Gets her. No, it's not Gutfield. What's his name? Jesse Walters. He's always giving her shit.
And the thing is I can only listen to rich people complain so much about equality before it just gets really annoying.
You got a
Because
point.
like, how do you know anything about equality? You made hundreds of millions of dollars. Some of these women. I'm like, I don't want to hear it. You have no argument in that discussion.
You don't have a dog in this race.
Well, if anything, if you're going to be a multimillionaire and you're going to be constantly screaming everything's racial and equality, not everybody has the same rights and all this, but you're worth millions of dollars, obviously you're proof that that's not necessarily the case. Anybody can make it if they work hard enough.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Paul?
I'm gonna sew something.
You know how to sew?
Used to.
You ripped your pants again?
I didn't know you knew how to sew.
Don't you?
Nah.
How the hell you live? You can't sew something.
Sarah sews it for me. Sarah taught herself how to sew. She watched a bunch of YouTube videos and taught herself. She got really good at it.
Really?
Yep. She just watched YouTube videos. She first learned how to sew on a button and then how to do seams. And she can hand sew. Like, she's pretty good at hand sewing.
Well, Paul knows how to put buttons over a little bit because he's been eating Boston cream. So
She keeps saying she wants to get a sewing machine.
you get a sewing machine cheap now. You get a brother
Oh,
a
yeah,
brother
I
one
know.
for like $150, and it's a good one. I got it on sale for like 85 for a brother one.
I used to help my grandma. My grandpa and grandma, the ones on my mom's side. I went to their house for a couple summers and did help them do their upholstering for the airplanes, reupholstering. And I used one of their industrial sewing machines for doing upholstery. And would help them. They would show me how to do different stuff on it. Don't remember any of it, but my grandpa had 4 big ass hangers, and one was a reupholstery shop, one was a mechanical engine repair shop, and then one of them they manufactured actual airplane parts right there in the hangar. They had a bunch of industrial machines where they could actually cast parts and stuff. And the fourth one, I can't remember what the fourth hangar was, but it was something else to do with their business. But they could pretty much rebuild your plane from the ground up from this right there at his company. Oh, one of them was a paint. That was right. They repainted the planes. You getting those lights through there, Joe?
Yeah, I'm gonna use the fairy lights instead of drilling it because it worked.
What is there holes between each letter to run the lights through, or what?
Yeah, and the fairy lights are enough that it should give them enough light.
Well, I mean,
It's
you're
not a
more
big
or
thing.
less. I mean, if anything, that's mainly supposed to be like either a nice little night light or just an accent light for a background, you know. So it doesn't really need to be super bright.
It is gonna be fine.
As most people, like I say, are going to use those light boxes as either night lights or they're going to use them as a background, like you would, you know.
Yeah, I was gonna
while
put the
you're on
LED
camera.
strip in there. You know, that way you could plug it in and just have it all the time. But shit, it's just a battery. You know, it's a little one of those little cheap batteries, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think she's gonna leave it on all the time. Leaves it on all the time. She need to get batteries for it. So
What do you just glue the battery back case on the back? Battery box?
put a little piece of Velcro on the back. To hold it in place.
Well, you ain't got nothing to do today, huh, Paul?
Well, it's just bugging the shit out of me.
One of those people come and they look at your gutters.
Yeah, right.
A month.
Oh, they schedule
Maybe a
them.
month or two, they said.
Yeah, Paul's too impatient.
Well, they're probably just that busy. It's right after the winter. So there's a lot of contractors out there that are having to turn down jobs because they just don't have enough people. They can't overbook themselves. At the same time, that's good for your business because that means you just got constant business coming in. Have you popped the drone up there just to look at your gutters?
Yeah,
Just to see what they look like?
they're pretty full.
Did you throw the peanuts up there so the squirrels would dig them up?
Nah, the squirrels don't want nothing to do with them.
We said
I'd
the
watch.
squirrels were up there digging them out.
They want nice, clean ones. They don't want the fuzzy ones.
I bet you throw the peanuts up there, they'll dig them up.
You ever seen that channel, those three brothers that go around and redo people's gutters and roofs for free?
No.
Yeah, they're I think they're out of Canada, but they have a YouTube channel and they do so well with their business and their YouTube channel and stuff that they go around every episode that they do a video. They go around and they do they find somebody's house that's really jacked up, the roof and gutters, and they'll always come in and put all new gutters in, and they'll offer to redo the roof for them too, and put a brand new metal roof on for them.
How's that? There you go, Paul. How's it look, Justin?
Yeah, it looks good.
It came out all right. That's with those little fairy lights in it.
There's the link to their channel if anybody wants to check it out. Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, it
Nice
came
and
out
solid.
nice. Yeah. That's just putting a little thing on the back and Velcro on it, you see?
Yeah, that's perfect. It's not too bright where it's
Yeah.
blowing it out. It's nice, soft white.
Yeah, and it's just probably it looks like it's two of the 2032 batteries.
Like I said, you wouldn't want that thing too bright anyway, because the two things people are going to use them for is night lights, or they're going to use them for background decoration if they're live streaming or something, you know.
Yeah,
So-
that's good. I like that.
Yeah, Brenda, that did come out pretty good. Said you did a good job, Joe.
Thank you. And it was, guess what? It took a whole hour and 45 minutes.
That's to be for your granddaughter.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna see these white things are not loose in here, but they'll pop in and out because of the thing. I think I'm gonna glue them in.
Now, your other kid, your other son in the military, he doesn't have kids, huh?
No, you don't want them.
Yeah, those are the people I end up with them. Everybody I've ever heard say I don't want kids, I end up with them.
Is that what you used to say?
No, I always wanted kids.
You had to look far and wide to get a mother as good as the one you got.
You're telling
kids
me.
have. Because your Sarah really takes care of them kids, doesn't she?
Oh yeah, she's a really good mom. Sarah lives to be a mom and wife. That's what she lives for. Oh yeah, because it pisses me off all the time because I'll give Sarah like $100, $200. I'll tell her go, get stuff for yourself, and she'll end up going buying everything for the fucking kids. And I'll be like, "Did you get what you needed?" "No, I got the kids something though." Like, damn it.
What you call mother's love.
Yeah, she'll always go out of her way to do for the kids first. Even if they don't need it. Like I said, sometimes I just give her money to go get stuff. Kids don't really need anything, but she'll end up buying them anyway.
Iran claims that they shot it down. Israel says the wreckage of the drone won't provide Iran with any kind of an information breach. Israeli fighter jets are back in the sky. The defense minister says the Iranian internal security headquarters was hit. Attack helicopters were destroyed on the ground. Ballistic missiles and nuclear facilities were also hit. For another night, Israelis in central Israel were sent scrambling for bomb shelters as another wave of two different waves of ballistic missiles came into Israel. The defenses were activated and explosions were heard in the sky over Tel Aviv. Some of those missiles did make it to the ground, several of them, according to the IDF, resulting in damage, but no injuries. Israel's defense minister says businesses in central Israel can reopen today, but only if they have access to bomb shelters. Julian?
All right, back to open in Tel Aviv for us this morning. Thank you. Right now, Secretary Pete Hegseth, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Dan Payne are behind me up here on Capitol Hill. They were scheduled to talk about the department's budget, but the conflict in the Middle East is instead taking center stage this morning. Let's bring in Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin. She's Pentagon with all the details. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Julie. First, a lot of news in the
I
president.
gotta head back to the school at 12 and pick the kids up.
Audience had asked him to come to the White House, suggesting that they had asked for negotiations.
What are they at daycare or something or what?
No, Kelsey and Thomas are doing something for the school.
He suggested
Some
that
summer thing.
striking is not sustainable. Very interesting. We've also seen reports that 2 civilian aircraft have left Iran toward Oman. Remember, Oman was where those negotiations were supposed to be taking place last week. We have had no on-the-record or off-the-record briefings here at the Pentagon from the Defense Secretary or military chiefs about U.S. involvement or potential.
Kelsey's trying to graduate early, so she's trying to get all her stuff done early.
It was supposed to be, as you mentioned, a hearing about the defense budget. That's what they've talked about so far. No questions yet about the Middle East. So far, the Israelis have not struck the main uranium enrichment facility at Fordo, south of Tehran, tunneled deep below a mountain. The U.S. is the only military in the world with the capability to strike this very program with its B-2 stealth bombers.
So is this her last year at the school then?
No, she would do partial next year and then she would get out. It's just she fell a year behind, so she just wants to get graduated instead of graduating late. So
Right.
yeah, getting their asses handed to them. That's for one thing.
Yeah, they're sending another carrier group into the area.
That one carrier group would be more powerful than Iran's entire fucking Air Force. That's the sad thing. More firepower on that ship than Iran's got. Their entire Air Force.
Yep.
U.S. Navy's the second biggest Air Force in the world. And I think the Marines are number 6.
Well, they were showing the amount of aircrafts the United States has compared to everybody else. And
Yeah.
China's in second place. We've got like 3 times what China's got.
Yeah, it's like around 14,000 or something we have.
Yeah.
It's quality, not quantity.
Well, the quality's better too.
Yeah, quality is better. Again, you're watching the wrong news.
Plus our pilots are way more trained than theirs. Like China's new aircraft carrier, they've been too afraid to take it to the point where they won't go farther. They'll only go out so far out in sea to where if one of their aircraft has an issue or the aircraft carrier has an issue, their planes can fly back to the mainland to land.
Yeah.
Ours don't do that. Ours be out in the middle of fucking nowhere, just launching planes in and out, boom, boom, all day long. It's like they're almost too scared to go too far with it, you know? But if that's the type of stance you're going to take, you're really limiting your range, what you can do. I mean, and when it comes to just moving around the world, I mean, the U.S. Navy just has that experience. I mean, they just have done it nonstop for the last, 60 years, 70 years?
Yeah, my son's gonna get that experience in the next year. Like I said, he told me yesterday probably where he's gonna be. And that's all I can say. And he told me how he's gonna let me know where he's at. And that's crazy. I can't tell you that either.
Shouldn't
It's
even told
all
us to do
codes,
that.
it's all like a code book. I can tell you what it is basically. It's he chooses a book, any kind of book, something unique, and then he'll tell you, I'm up to page 38, and he'll
Well,
tell
don't
you
tell us
basically
how he
what's in it.
does it.
No, but I can't tell you the book. You know what I mean?
He's gonna send Joe Morse code. He's like, I don't know if he's telling me he's in the Mediterranean or he's calling me a dick.
It's kind of funny the way they do it. But him and his wife picked out a book, and that's how they're gonna correspond.
Did
So
you
you can tell him
ever
where he's at.
you ever learned
Hold
how to
on.
read Morse code?
No, I got a son calling. Hold on, what you got?
I just left my interview with Malala.
Okay.
upholding Tennessee law that bans certain types of gender-affirming care. Let's bring in Shannon Bream on the Shannon. It's the
Didn't you still have to learn Morse code if you wanted to get a ham license, ham radio license?
I'm not sure about America, but you don't need to do it anymore in the UK.
Yeah, that's the same here. I think they got rid of it here too. You don't have to learn it anymore.
You could get the A-class license, which just limited you to VHF, UHF, and microwave. But to get the B-class, sorry, to get the A-class license that allowed you to go on the HF bands, like 20.
Why do you need a license though? Was it because it interferes with shit and you have to know what it does? Or
Yes, I suppose partly that, but yeah. You just need a transmission license
Hey, Joe, I'll be back.
because you're using
what's up, Jason?
a lot of different frequencies.
On your way to work?
Yes, I am. Cut the last part of your. When I was joining in, I was like, "Oh, you need Morse code for a ham radio license," and that used to be true.
That's what I thought. I thought we had gotten rid of it too. I thought somebody had said that a while back.
There are 3 levels of, I guess, ham radio operatorship, and technically speaking, if you fly FPV, you're supposed to have it as well.
Really?
Because the radio, because the radio signals that are being used are within that bandwidth that the FCC controls, so they want you to have.
But why don't do they require that to be an FPV pilot?
Well, I mean, when you look at the letter of the law, right? Yes.
It's you would say yes, but I don't. Have they
but
ever?
do
I
people
don't.
do it? No. I got it though because I thought. I mean, when I first started getting into it, I was like, oh, okay. I guess I'll get that also. So I actually went and got my ham operator's license, but it's not like you're out there, there's FCC police hunting you down and triangulating your location, unless you're operating like near an airport kind of thing. Yeah, different story. But
So how long have you been an amateur then?
it's funny you say that because I actually went and got the 3rd level of, what do you call it? Ham radio ship, which is amateur extra.
Mm-hmm.
And so 2 years, I think 3 years. And the cert lasts for 10 years as well. And then you can renew it by taking a test, I think is what it is, continuing education. But I actually went and got I used a ham radio prep course to study for the.
Do you actually have a radio? Have you ever actually done it or no?
Yeah. And I mean, I actually learned Morse code because I wanted my ham radio operator license as a kid, but all the testing centers were far away. And so I never got it, but it was handy just because I knew Morse code. Just because I had it, I mean, I've got it, but it's a perishable skill. It's like another language as well,
Yeah, I've been a radio ham since 1982.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
No, but do you have a
setup? Me, yes, I do. I've got a small Yaesu.
Okay. I was wondering if you had a directional.
Yeah. I've got all
I actually did a live stream on it once.
All my stuff's
An
Yaesu.
unboxing of my radios. Yeah. Nice.
I've got
I still get the QST magazine.
Mm-hmm.
So you got like a big.
I was actually looking at it this morning.
You got like a big antenna out your house, Mark?
I actually use a wire.
Okay.
An inverted V dipole. So it's just basically 2 wires that are about 60 foot long each, something like that.
Okay.
Wow. Sounds like you've got the highest rating for a radio operator as well.
Well, we actually joined them together so that you now don't need to do the Morse to get your full license. and anybody that had the original license, just the A class, automatically the B class at the time.
Nice.
Because they consider that Morse is such a thing that it's not needed anymore with the way we do packet radio and data and stuff like that. That
Right.
it might as well be just something you can get if you want to, but you don't need it. So I've got
Right.
I've got 2 meters, 70 centimeters, 23 centimeters, 6 meters, and then a HF kit from the 1.6 megahertz all the way up to 28 megahertz.
Right on.
So I've
They
got,
should never kill off Morse code. That's how they won an Independence Day. So I
yeah,
got the information out there.
yeah.
I mean, but that's true though. That's like one of those art forms that is so low tech that in a situation like a really bad situation like that would probably be a good way of communicating.
Oh, it 100% is.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, in the U.S., it's ham radio operations is still a method for emergency communications. If cell phone towers go down, you have no way to communicate. But if you are on, if you have the ability to operate ham radios, I can still talk to David via those bandwidths, and
You
having
mean the
those
Mark?
additional licenses.
Yeah, you mean
Mark? Yeah. Mark. Apologies. If I had the equipment, because I have the rating to transmit at that power level, which is what would be required, and that's what those mean. I simply have, the licensing to operate higher powered radio equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the furthest that you guys have ever talked?
I've
My backyard.
I've talked to Australia before. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I was getting into it. I went to a local club here, to get into it some more. And for whatever reason, I don't know what it was. I didn't enjoy being there. So they kind of turned me off from getting into the hobby more so.
You just didn't vibe with the guys there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you.
A lot of the
almost like
clubs are a bit like the FPV guys. They like to build their own equipment.
Yes, which I was looking forward to doing, and buying used gear and learning the gear and learning it all. It's fun. So I studied when I started studying for my Part 107, right, and learning more about the drones back in 2022 or whatever. I was in that study mode. I studied for the Part 107. I think on Tuesday I took the test on Monday. And I was like, I'm still interested in learning stuff. And I was like, all right, FPV or ham radio seemed like the right path. I bought the course, studied, took the test, and then they're like, okay, the next test is this. Because what they'll do is they'll give you once you take your first test, you pass it, they'll let you test for the next level. And if you pass it, then you pass it, like multiple guess, right? At that point, because it's information I didn't know. But yeah, so I got the second course, and then studied for it, passed it, and then took the third course. And that was it.
Did you take it online, or did you have to go to a testing center?
I had to go to a testing center for it.
Yeah. Ours is actually a City and Guilds qualification.
And that was for the ham radio, right? You had to go to testing center.
I've actually got an affiliate link for if you want to buy a course. I think it's Ham Radio Prep. My last name's a discount code if you want to try it out. Stephen Wire, actually.
My cousin was taking a class, and it was just some guy doing a class out of his house. And there was a lot of hands-on, so you really learned. And
There are
he ended
there
up
are more more of the drone flyers are amateur radio operators than you would think.
Oh, I'm sure because it's a hobby that's that's kind of enjoyed around the world.
Yeah. Bill O'Donnell, he's got a radio amateur channel as well. He does a live stream on Wednesday for amateur radio.
I wonder how many young people are in it. There's a lot of young people, or if it's kind of an older crowd thing.
I think it used to be an older crowd thing because there were people that came from like the forces, from Royal Signals and stuff like that over here. But it's been going a long time.
Yeah, because
some people still use war equipment like Marconi radios that they've converted to the frequencies that we're allowed to use. And Ray Cal, all sorts of stuff.
David, what's up, David?
They even, there's quite a few of them still use old police radios. You know, you might different
like an old CB.
Well, CB's on 27 megahertz. Amateur radios on 28 megahertz. On one of their frequencies, 28 megahertz. So a lot of CBers actually buy the 28 megahertz radios and recrystal them to use the CB channels purely because the power output's more.
Yeah, I remember the guy that used to do my dad's radios for his business, and he'd go in there, and this guy he worked out of one of those like storage unit places that rent out spaces for small businesses. And he'd go in there and he'd just have thousands of radios and scanners all over the place, fixing them and redoing them. Yeah, I remember going in there a bunch of times with my dad.
I mean, I started off on illegal CB here back in, I don't know.
Did they ever like actually try to track people that were doing that though?
At one point, yeah. I mean,
I'm sure there was a lot more people on it back then too, because there was no cell phones or anything.
You were using hidden radios and disguised antennas. My CB radio antenna just looked like an ordinary electric car radio aerial. It's just that the top section had a coil built into it to make it work on the higher frequency.
So like when you're trying to connect with somebody in Australia, what do you have to like lock onto their frequency or something? Does it just stay a good connection the entire time or what?
Yeah. Depending on what frequency they're using. You just twist a tune around until you find somebody talking.
Okay. And then you just
either join in or wait until they finish that conversation and then call out on the same frequency to see if they answer.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's guys that probably hang out on there just like we do on the live shows.
Yeah.
They'll probably do their own little chat rooms every night on the CB.
Yep.
And talk to each other.
Yeah, but when CB got legalized over here, all the kids came on and it got crap. So that was when I took my radio amateur exam. There's quite a few of us did it.
Is there a way to like if you're having a conversation with somebody, is there a way to make it like private, or is anybody can tune in on it?
No, pretty much anybody can listen. As long as they're within range. Yeah.
Who is that that came in?
I mean, there are satellites up there that have amateur radio equipment on board that we can transmit up to them, and then they retransmit on a different frequency back to Earth. Used to do that quite regularly. I had aerials when I lived at my mum's. I had aerials that big beam aerials that rotated and elevated so that you could actually track the satellite.
Jason, I went to let you in. You must have dropped out before I had a chance to. You can pop back in. Oh, your phone got too hot? Yeah, that's why I always say when you get one of those phone holders, get one that can sit in front of the vent. That's the best place to put your phone, is right in front of your AC vent when it's hot out.
Not over here, seeing as most of the time you're using the vent to heat your car.
It's time for you to get a new phone, Jason. Go get that S25 Ultra. You know you want it.
There's a guy that lives about a quarter of a mile away from me up the side of the canal, just the other side of an estate next to me. And he was one of the ones that were talking to the Falklands during the Falklands crisis.
Oh, wow. And do you know, like, what country you're tuning into, or?
Yeah, each call sign is specific to a country.
Oh, okay. So you can go to a specific country if you want.
Yeah. So, like, my call sign is G6GXY. The G in front of it means it's the UK. The Americans use K and I think N.
Yeah, S25 is nice, Ultra.
But yeah, every country has its own prefix to the radio call signs.
All right, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think it's time for you to get a new phone.
I know, right?
Don't
It's
worry, I'll
sitting on the
send you a
dash,
link.
right, in the sun. And now that it's hot, now that it's summer.
Oh, I had that problem in my work truck. I had to lower it to the. That's why I said I had the ones with the real long arms on it.
Yeah.
And I lowered it down to where it would sit in front of the vent with the AC.
I was thinking of that too. I was like, ooh, maybe I need to change the angle of my phone holder so it's not so high, so the air can blow on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, because it's using the YouTube app was on in the background, the Zoom app, and then the camera, so it's using three things.
Oh yeah, it's sitting directly.
And it's
in
got
the,
a case, a magnetic case that's
yeah.
holding all the heat in also. But yeah, maybe I am due for a new phone. I mean, it's what, 3 years old, right?
Yeah, I'll send you the S25 Ultra link. Don't worry about you.
All right, bet.
So
why am I not surprised? So the Ultra or the Ultra Plus?
Well,
Jason, what's your call sign?
You know what? While we were talking, I was trying to think about it. I'm like, I do not remember what it is off the top of my head. Well, I don't use it, you know. You use it or lose it, right?
Yeah.
But it's something like whiskey, something Zulu golf uniform, you know. But I'll find it. I'll let you know later on this afternoon or tonight or tomorrow.
I mean, mine's
Yeah,
Golf 6 Golf X-ray. Golf 6 Golf X-ray Yankee.
Golf 6 Golf X-ray Yankee. Oh, that's a pretty cool one. G6 Gixie.
Yeah.
It's like G6 Gitchy.
Sounds like I should be riding a Suzuki GXR.
Right.
No, you do actually have 3 different sizes of the S series, though, Jason.
There's the 25. I think it's 25 plus in the Ultra.
Yeah. Yeah, they got that
Yeah.
plus one in the middle. It's like kind of is almost as big as the Ultra, but it doesn't have like the pin or anything like that with it.
Right. Did you get your Amazon affiliate link set up yet?
No, I
Affiliate
still
store
haven't
set up
fucking
yet?
done that. Keep forgetting about it. Hold on.
Dude, with all the shit that I buy from you, you know what I mean? You keep
I need-
sending me a link. You could have made some. You could have made some because you have the ability. You meet the minimum qualifications to be an affiliate with Amazon. You know. So we just have to disclose on like your on the YouTube description because you know how I've got all those links for product on my both on my website and on the description for my YouTube videos.
Uh-huh.
Those are all affiliate links. So hopefully somebody buys something from there. But what happens is when you click on the link, it puts the cookie in the computer. So as long as they don't click on another affiliate link, if they buy paper, right, even though they didn't buy the the phone, but if I buy paper in that same, I guess, time period, then I still get a commission on that paper, like 1% or 0.5%, which pennies saved, pennies earned, right?
Yeah.
Find a penny, pick it up. All day long, you'll have good luck. So, and that's the idea. It's just multiple sources of income, so to speak. So
I'm signing up for it right now. Hold on.
yeah, no, and I'll whenever I make a purchase, what I'll do is I'll click on your YouTube video, then I'll click on a link, or I'll just save one of your affiliate links as a bookmark. Click on that, and then because I buy a lot of shit, dude, for work from Amazon, but I don't have an affiliate that I support. You know what I mean? But now I will.
Yeah, I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna sign up for it now.
Heck
After
yeah. Yeah, it's cool. My brother, when he buys stuff, he tries to click on he tries to remember to click on my affiliate link before he makes a purchase. Which is cool, I mean, another way of supporting each other, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I mean, I'm only making like $10 here, a quarter with it because I don't have a huge following. But I think if I eventually, and I think I'm going to revamp my website to be hey, what kind of gear do you have? Because my website, I'm a gear guy, as you know.
Right.
What does Jason use? What's his everyday carry look like? And what do you take when you go on a backpacking trip? When you go on a drone gig? What's my kit look like?
So when you order stuff on Amazon for work, do you use your own affiliate link to make a bit of commission?
No, unfortunately, I can't. But I'll use, because it's me, buying it as well. So we can't make a commission on our own purchases. I mean, it's actually more economical for me to just use Amazon Prime because it's 5%.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be you buying it if you're buying it on an account that belongs to the company rather than you.
Yeah, but the company doesn't have an account. I buy it and then I get reimbursed.
Well, you should make the company's account then.
All right, I'm pulling into the garage here. Got to get payroll released. All right, gentlemen, I'm gonna take off here at this point.
Okay,
Hey,
Jason.
Jason,
Sorry, I missed most of it, Jason. I had to go out and catch a ship.
Yeah, you did. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Was it a good shot? You get some good shots?
It was. Well, it was a Canadian Coast Guard cutter coming down.
Oh yeah. How close do you get to the ships when you fly them?
Close as I want.
Which is what?
Turn off 3D printer.
I've been as close as 10 or 15 feet.
Yeah, and they're just like they're waving at you like, "Hey, there's Paul."
Yet I just got here. Don't leave yet. I'm just now getting here.
Yeah, but he's going to work. He's in the garage.
Hey, B-Rad, what's up?
call in from the garage. Say like, hey, you know, I just came down with a serious case of. Just make something
Like I
up.
said, you always
Current
carry a
135.
can of chunky soup with you.
Okay.
You walk in, you spit it out on your bosses, just enough to sprinkle a little bit on his shoe, not to completely ruin his suit. He'll
Yeah,
freak the
right.
fuck out because you just threw up on him. He's gonna run out of the room and tell you to get the fuck home.
Jason, thanks
Before he
for
gets
stopping
back.
in, buddy.
Yeah, but the
Hey, TJ,
problem
how's
is
that look?
Jason is the boss.
Hey, that looks pretty good, Joe.
Well, then
Now
he's got to
watch.
do it to himself. I
Good.
can't think of everything.
Oh, that's nice. Wait, what is it? What does it say on it? Oh, Lily.
Lily. It's my
Oh, that's
granddaughter.
cool.
That's his granddaughter.
That's
So
awesome.
when you say you have to redo the L, there are 3 of them.
The
Wait,
L.
so-
No, it's just one. I didn't do it. I didn't have to redo it. I just put the back thing on it.
So
I just used
Justin,
the fairy lights.
I hear that you don't know what Debbie Does Dallas is.
Yeah.
You never heard of that before?
Yeah, that's the sequel to
that's
it is
TJ's favorite movie.
Yeah,
The
it's
sequel
one,
is-
one of my specialty favorites.
the sequel is Mandy Did Mandeville.
Mandy did
Oh, my
Mandeville. That's funny.
Was,
B-Rad,
what's
the
up,
way
man?
the way he said Mandy, was that like an ex-girlfriend when you were in high
No.
school that ran half through the football team on you?
Yeah.
No,
found
there's
out
a
later?
new one coming out too. It's
And
Maddie
Jim.
doing Madisonville too.
And Jim, Brad.
David, what's up? Jody!
What's up, Brad?
B-Rad.
B to the rad.
Get you.
Big John, what's up?
Is Get You still here?
She
Chief
hadn't
is
been in
still
the
here.
chat in a while.
I don't know. I've all just
Yeah, last
seen
thing
it.
she said was hi, Jason. Hi, Jim.
I said hi to her.
I was talking to my son Justin. He went to that interview today.
Oh yeah, I was
Uh,
going to ask you how that went because I heard him say that.
Oh yeah, the
How'd the,
aircon one.
how'd the interview go?
Well, the interview today was the company that does the installation, and they
Uh-huh.
told him, he said, yesterday we worked 18 hours because we had to do a Wells Fargo and we couldn't get it finished, so we had to finish it. He said sometimes that happens where we might work 12 hours, 14 hours. You have a problem with that? He says, I don't know anybody. Hey, no, hey, like that. He
Man,
said, I'll work the
work-
14
work-
hours. He says you get 20 to 23 an hour. It sounds like it's going to be like 20, 21 for him. And they said, the only thing we got to do is clear the background check on you. It takes a couple of days. And they asked them tomorrow they're moving their warehouse. And they said, what are you doing tomorrow? Like that. And he says, nothing. What do you got? And he says, well, if you come in, we'll pay you $150 to help us move the warehouse. So it sounds like he's going to go in there tomorrow. His background check come back. He said he's hoping he's going to know by Monday. He's going to work with them. And they said they said the interview went really easy. It sounds like he's got the job. He's just got to finish that paperwork.
I tell you what, man, working with insulation when it's like 100 degrees outside. Oh my God, that shit makes it itch.
Well, he don't care. He'll get used to it.
Yeah,
And he said, shoot, if I work 14 hours a day, he said the money that they'll be paying me. He said at the end of the week, he said I'll be putting all kind of money away.
That's why that's why it's good to wear like long sleeves and gloves so that shit doesn't get
Well,
on
he
your
will.
skin.
He will, knowing him, because they were saying a lot of them wear short pants, and then they explained it to him, and he says, "No, I'll be in long pants and boots."
Yeah,
Because he says he wears boots all the time
Inflation's
anyway.
rough.
He said he'll go get him some Dickie pants.
He's still waiting for them.
It kind of looks like cotton candy. Like, ooh, is that cotton candy?
The problem with him being a cop right now is they got to do his background check, and the school starts in 2 weeks, and they don't think they get him in this school, the class that he needs to get into. And until they get the background check, they can't hire him for FTO. And if they can't get him in the class this year, they're going to wait till January. That's the whole problem. If he would have submitted the background check 2 weeks ago and they would have had it done and they could have got him in his class, Then they'd hire him FTO where he can go to the class back and forth. But the guy says, we want you. We just got to get the paperwork finished. He turned in all the paperwork. So everything's there. You got to wait for that. And he told the guy, he said, we can't get into the class. Just make sure I'm in the class next time and I'll definitely be here. So he figures for 6 months with his brother being gone and his sister-in-law being gone and him just being there, he's got 6 months to work his butt off, save money. And then if he goes to the class after that and goes become a cop, you know.
So what's the income tax like in that state?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. He'll figure it out.
Well, hopefully the police department can put a rush on that background check.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I think it's going to be January myself. But he's good with that, you know. As long as he's got something to do and he's making money. This kid made money all the time. He was working the fire department, working J. Roy Pest Control. He was a bartender. So he's always made money. And like right now, like he's not making money, so it's freaking him out, you know. So it's all right. I actually think it's the best thing for him to get away from this area with the girlfriend that he had and the skanks he was fooling around with in between the girlfriend breaking up. So it's like,
Same thing his dad was doing when he was in the Marines.
no, I really
Was
wasn't.
running
He
around
learned
with a
from
bunch of
he
yeah,
learned from the best, right?
yeah, he running around with a bunch of rando girls.
No, I had a girlfriend in Palm Springs. I screwed up. I should have stayed out there. I was a homebody. I wanted to come back to New Orleans. That was my big mistake. I should have stayed out there. I wouldn't have liked being in California, but it wouldn't have changed me. Let's put it that way. But the girl that I had a girlfriend with, I wouldn't have probably had to work. But I don't know if I could have dealt with that. She was part of the Schaefer Pen Company.
Oh,
Yeah, but when I would say when you go to work knowing you don't need to work, it kind of takes the pressure off of having to go to work.
Oh, I know.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause you're just mainly doing it to get out of the house. So you're not stressing if all of a sudden tomorrow they came and said, oh, you lost your job.
Yep.
You're like, all right, whatever.
Hear ye,
You don't
hear
have that
ye.
daily stress that most people have.
Yep.
I've got a gold nibbed Schaefer that I got given at my 21st birthday. So that's 45 years old now, nearly.
I wish
Yep.
I could see the alternate universe of Joe actually staying there. He'd probably be like the CEO of the company by now, or CFO
What?
or some shit. Yeah,
Well, that
then slipped into the family business, worked his way up to the top.
and the funny part about it, I was driving my Chevy Vega
Never know.
in Palm Springs, California, and pulled up to a light, and she pulled up next to me in a little scooter, like a Vesper. And I looked
Uh-huh.
over at her, and she looked over at me and looked away. And when we got to the next light, she pulled up again, looked over at me. I looked over at her, and I smiled, and she looked the other way. And then she got up to the next light, and I was there again. She looked over at me, and she said, "You following me?" I said, "If we're going to the same place." Like that. And she started laughing. And then she was like 5 lights in a row. And she said, "Well, I'm stopping over here. You want to stop?" So I stopped over there and talked to her. We wound up going out.
Oh, there you go.
Like I said,
How
you
long-
never know. You could have been the CEO of the family business now.
She was getting the money from the family business because she was the wife of one of the sons that divorced him because she came home and he had 2 girls at the house.
Oh, so she got a big divorce settlement.
Oh yeah, she had the house in Palm Springs Country Club.
And how
So I
long
used to
ago
go. I used to leave 29 Palms. That's why I love 29 Palms. I was never there. I used to go down to Palm Springs on the weekend, stay in Palm Springs Country Club, and then come back up and never spend a
Yeah, the
dime.
poor guy probably had to move to his mansion in Napa Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
How
She had a. What'd you say?
long ago was this?
1978.
Probably.
You think you can go rekindle things?
Well, you were
Or
born.
like after I was, or before I was born.
So I said, you think you can go rekindle things, Joe? You might be able to go and retire.
Shit, she probably look like my grandmother now. That's like my first really girlfriend here in school, high school. She put a picture on today. I looked up there, oh Lord. She looks just like my grandmother.
Oh, dude, I saw some of the girls from my school back when I was in high school, and like the hot ones that were like considered the hot ones back then, and some of them are just, whoa, what the fuck happened to you?
Yeah, buddy, that happens.
And one of them was a meth addict.
We had a girl in high school. Now I'm gonna say this, and I don't want no jokes. Okay, her name was Betsy Ross.
What?
Okay, no jokes. Okay, and this girl, she was actually the ugly duckling. Everybody used to tease her and just give her hell. And I, I told everybody, look, leave her alone, man. I was football team and all that. Leave her alone, I said, the girl, nobody wants to date her. Leave her alone. Just leave her alone. I ran into her a year after I got married to the wife I've got now.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't even recognize her. Looked like a freaking supermodel.
Yeah, ugly duckling syndrome is the best thing for a girl to have.
Ugly duckling.
I was thinking.
It's called ugly duckling syndrome.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I was thinking, damn, if I didn't have a kid.
Those are the hot girls that tend to be really cool because they were treated like such crap as kids. They got older, they're very humble, but then they turned hot at the same time. It's a perfect storm.
Yeah, I had my daughter with me. She was about maybe 3 years old. And she started talking to me. She goes, "Are you Joe?" I said, "Yeah." "Who are you?" She goes, Betsy Ross. I went, "Betsy who?" Like that, because I remember the picture, it didn't match, She goes,
Betsy was a
from
popular
McMahon and
name
from
back
Fortune.
then.
I went, "Oh my God," like that. So we started talking and everything. She goes, "That's your daughter?" I said, "Yeah, it's my daughter." So she met and talked to her. This girl's like a freaking supermodel, right? And she tells me, she goes, "I want to thank you." And she gives me a hug. She goes, "You were the nicest person to me in school." I said, "Well, what are you doing? You married?" "No, I'm single." She says, "I'm really picky now." She goes, "But you were so nice to me." I was thinking, damn, and I got a kid.
That's not always a bad thing. Single dad
Yeah.
card can actually be a good thing.
Yeah, but I wasn't playing with it. Wasn't worth the chance at the time. No, but boy, I'll tell you what. She shocked the hell out of me. Let's put it that way.
Well, Betsy was a popular name back then. That's not such a popular name these days.
Yeah, you don't see too many Betsy's walking around.
Yeah, like I said, well, turn on things. My first girl, my girlfriend in high school, junior high school, we were about 7 years, and I saw her face there, and I went, "Oh my God, looked like my grandmother."
They're like kids' names these days are so much harder to pronounce because they just do all these weird names now.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like you rarely see like an older traditional name anymore.
Yeah, like names you don't really like see too often. It's like, man, that's a long fucking name. How the hell do you pronounce that?
That's because everybody's trying to come up with like these really unique names.
Yeah. I wonder who Paul's talking to.
So TJ, I was on an ambulance once. And we had a
Yeah.
we had this girl that she was going get candy at the store, and they had a shootout in front of the store, and she got hit in the hip. And it
Oh, God.
went through the hip, went through both femurs, broke both her femurs, right? So we used to pick this girl up. She was 12 years old, and we used to pick her up, and she was in a cast where it had her legs and her hip wide and everything, and it had a bar across so she couldn't move them, so they could fix everything, right? It was really a bad cast, you know. And I mean, she couldn't walk. You had to pick her up and move her over, and the whole works, everything. She wore a diaper just because she couldn't get to the bathroom fast enough. You know,
Oh,
but she
wow.
was
Yeah.
a 12-year-old. That's what she was, a 12-year-old, right? And the first time we picked her up, my partner, he was terrible. He was terrible. He says, he said, what's your name? He look at the name. He says, spell your name. She says, Tarantula, like that.
Tarantula.
He looks at it again. He goes, spell it again. And she spelled it again, right? And he goes, pronounce it. She said,
Tarantula.
Tarantula. He said,
Tarantula.
baby, say that again. He said, Tarantula. Tarantula. He goes, baby, your mom and dad named you after a spider. You a tarantula.
Tarantula.
That's tarantula.
Tarantula.
Said, you named after a spider, girl.
Uh,
He said that, I like to die.
dude, that's funny.
Baby, you name after a spider.
Like what? Why do
And that's
people
how he
name
talked.
their, or maybe like after like a rose or a flower, or like people name their kids after like a tree of some kind, or like I don't know, it's weird.
Where they were conceived.
Yeah.
Like Brooklyn.
Had a tarantula was their favorite pet.
Yeah, tarantula was their favorite pet.
But I mean, the whole ride, the first time, it was giving a shit about her name. I said, Rudy, stop. But Rudy would mess with you. Rudy, we were parked in the French Quarter one night, just sitting there, because we had nothing to do. We were right on the outskirts of the thing, and there's a gay bar right down the street, right? Everybody that walked by, he had to get them over to the unit, talk to him, and he'd give them all shit. I mean, listen, you stop like that.
I gotta jump off. I gotta leave here in a little bit.
Where you heading off to?
I gotta go get the kids.
Oh, okay.
TJ, what time you go to work?
I go in at 1 today. So I
And you're off for 2 days.
Yeah, I work today, and then I'm off Thursday and Friday.
Okay, well we can go ahead and call it. Joe doesn't mind.
There we go.
All right. Are you going out flying or something, Paul? You gonna go catch a few ships?
No,
I
there
see
isn't
you got
any
your-
ships. I just caught the one.
Oh, you had your
He
badge.
caught
on
he
there.
caught the one he
Good.
caught this morning. He had two. The Coast Guard cut it back to back, probably.
Coast Guard cutter, yep. Okay,
Oh, gotcha.
everybody,
All right,
hey,
guys.
thanks for being here. We'll see all of you again later today at 5 o'clock. TJ, don't work too hard because I know you
I'll
won't.
try- yeah, I'll try
Yeah.
not to.
Okay.
All right, later on.